Welcome to the ProComps Meta Forecast. In this video, we'll be taking a look at some of the best champions for competitive play on the patch S25.1.3, and we've got some exciting developments with niche champions, classic mainstays, and some new releases. In top lane, we're seeing the rise of the bruiser and tank. The more HP the better these days, and top lane is no exception. Champions taking over pro play thus far are Cassante, Jace, and Mbessa, all offering their own unique play styles and overall consistent play. Cassante offers safety in lane swap situations, as well as great team fighting and solid side laning. Jace provides some good range as well as some incredible siege potential, and Mbessa is an unreal team fighter with great mid-game power spikes. For jungle, we're seeing a shift to some lesser known champions and a couple classics. Pantheon has been seeing a ton of play in solo queue, namely being picked up by ex-TSM and Dignitas jungler Spica. His strong early game damage being backed up with powerful late game health scalings offer a solid mix of reliable damage and utility. Now while Pantheon may be a newer pickup, Wukong is kind of the same old story. Great team fighter with a fantastic early game clear and strong objective control around solid vision. Zyra has also been picking up steam again after disappearing for a couple of months last year. Her clear time being one of the fastest in the game, as well as her ability to dominate against pure engaged teams, offers up some flexibility in draft as an AP jungle option. Time for the all-important mid lane. We're starting to see a shift towards some classic mages, with some spice thrown in here and there. Namely, Swain, who's a great champion versus dive and low-range characters and compositions. His tankiness paired with great damage and utility, as well as positional flexibility, make for an awesome combination in both draft and in-game. Azir has made his way back despite Riot's best efforts, and expect to start seeing him more and more in pro play with his top-notch playmaking potential and incredible late-game prowess. Rounding out the most important champions is Ahri, Riot's poster child. She's a great all-around laning champion that plays best with pick comps, but can teamfight just as well as she does look for those crucial picks in late game. After a couple patches of the Age of the Mage taking over the bot lane, we're starting to see ADCs slowly but surely come back into the role they were designed to play. I know, pretty crazy. For starters, Corki has one of the strongest 2-item spikes with Trinity Force and Muramana, which let him both chunk out squishies and take down bruisers and tanks. He's a great laning phase, and while he isn't the strongest late game hyper carry, he's no slouch in that department. Now, speaking of hyper carries, everyone's favorite arcane character is back in Jinx. Her snowball potential with Get Excited, paired with strong frontline champions in the meta right now, make for one of the best mid and late game options for AD carries. She does suffer a little bit when put behind, but can run over the game with some resources. If you're looking for something a little bit more powerful in the early game, try out Misfortune. Her build flexibility with her standard BT Essence Reaver build versus strong frontlines, or her lethality build versus those squishier squads, give her the ability to always have a home in games. Alright guys, time for support. In competitive play, not a ton has changed over the past few seasons. But, after her mid-scope update, Rell has been one of the strongest supports in the game, with only a few patches of downtime. Her tankiness paired with great CC chain engaged pattern make her easily the best and simplest engaged character in the game. If you're looking to counter champions like Rell, consider picking up both Alistar or Braum. Alistar serves as a midline disruptor in fights, able to peel off those pesky engagers, as well as find his own angles for engages here and there. And Braum offering more of kind of like a straight-up front-to-back playstyle versus engage. Alright, let's talk about some of the best champions in the game right now. Now these aren't necessarily bound to certain roles, but these are the two best characters overall, in our opinion, on this patch. First up is the Defender of Tomorrow, Jace. Jace's early game prowess and positional flexibility makes him quite the menace right now. Although his tank build has seen quite a few nerfs, people have started building a more bruisery Spear of Shojin, Muramana, and Black Cleaver build. These items allow Jace to still play like the melee maniac in fights that he was playing like the past couple of patches, as well as giving him that incredible siege power that we're all used to from the old days. If you're looking to find ways to counter Jace, try picking up a champ like Poppy, who's able to match his early game laning phase while remaining a pest in fights. Or Cho'Gath, whose sustain can outlast Jace's poke and has the range spells to match him in lane. Or, if you're looking for something with a little bit more damage, try out Rumble, who can join in teamfights and take down Jace's team, as well as match his early game. Alright. Enough about Jace. Next up, we've got Corki, the Daring Bombardier. Now, as you can kind of see, the theme of this patch is flexibility. If a champion's able to play multiple roles reliably, it will see a little bit more play just by default. A champion like Corki is no exception. Whether you need a reliable early game mid laner with some pretty great skirmishing power, or an incredibly strong 2v2 machine in the bot lane with a great 2-item power spike, Corki's kind of the champion for you. For classic counterpicks to Corki, we'd probably suggest looking at champs like Hui, who can go toe-to-toe with Corki's range, take advantage of those weaker long trade patterns that Corki falls into. Or Ezreal, who again, much like Hui, can outrange and match his 2-item spike. Or Misfortune, whose ability to match Corki's mid-game wave clear, as well as her bonus move speed from Strut, allowing her to better rotate to those all-important Otacon fights. She is a pretty strong answer to Corki. Now, I know what you're thinking. All these champions seem pretty good, but are they blindable? Well, in our opinion, these are the best blindable champions for the upcoming patch. Alright, let's talk a little bit about what makes blind picks in the first place. So, the power of blind picks usually come from a champion's ability to not give away too much of your draft plan right away. Now, we just mentioned the power of Corki and Jace as potential flex picks, but let's take a look at an old face who's also a flex pick machine. A Pantheon's ability to be reliably flexed into 4 roles makes for quite the power pick these days. His best role right now does seem to be jungle, but don't sleep on the Pantheon support flex, with Heartsteel and Bloodsong being pretty strong items in the early and mid game. Now, similar strong flex pick champions, albeit maybe not as strong as the last 3, are Mbessa and Hui, both offering a strong, reliable 2-way flex potential with great early game power spikes and incredible team fighting. If you're looking for a plug-and-play strong top jungle duo, look no further than Rumble and Wukong. Now, League of Legends is a simple game at its core, and if you show up with bigger and better ultimates than your enemy, you're definitely more likely to win. Rumble and Wukong cover the AP and AD damage profiles, while also having 2 of the strongest ultimates in the game. Rumble being able to either be strong-sided or weak-sided gives some much-needed game plan flexibility to Wukong, whose early game damage at level 6 can help win those all-important grub and dragon fights. Moving on from top lane, if you're wanting to play an insane mid-jungle duo, we're going to take a look at the pro play staple Ahri and Vi combo today. Now, it's no secret that these 2 Riot Games poster children have seen a lot of screen time both on and off the Rift. In pro play this season, Vi already has the 2nd highest pick ban percentage of any jungler, while Ahri seems to be boasting a 53% win rate in all major regions combined. The secret behind their success is ultimately pretty simple. One guy on the enemy team does not get to play the game. When you pair their ultimates together, you get possibly the least interactive combo in League of Legends. Try it out. Make somebody rage quit. We're going to be sticking with our strong, ultimate, and skirmishing power theme today with our AD carry and support duo. Let's talk about Corki and Rell. They give a super solid bot lane duo with pretty insane 2v2 kill potential as soon as level 2. Corki's all-in damage combined with Rell's nasty CC chain make it almost impossible for anyone to play the game if they make even the slightest misstep. As a duo, they've seen a 58% win rate together in Challenger Worldwide, and it's no surprise given how powerful both champions seem to be this season. Okay, time to take a look at some interesting or fun team comps for your team to pick up. With these comps, you'll be able to take over competitive games and get the edge your team will need to win championships like T1 and Faker. Look to pick up this comp if you're looking to build a classic front-to-back team fight. Use this comp if you're thinking about scaling and abusing the most OP champs in the game right now. Make your opponents bend to your will as you group in a death ball roaming throughout the jungle, destroying the enemy frontline wherever they may be. Pick style compositions are all about your ability to maintain control of vision. If you can stay on top of clearing enemy vision, you'll be able to choke out the map by hiding on flanks and using your ultimates to take down stragglers. These champions are not the best team fighters, but they're no slouches. So don't be afraid to brawl if push comes to shove. If you're looking for a wombo combo, dive the backline style team comp, here's something for you to consider. These champions do lack range, but if you're trying to delete an entire enemy team at once, this is your kind of style. Punish people that fall asleep around objectives and stay active post 6 to not fall off too hard. Siege style comps punish those pesky low range early game compositions. Use a comp like this if you're looking to pick up a strategic challenge in the mid and late game. Make use of Jace and Ezreal's powerful range and the great safety net of Maokai, Poppy, and Azir ults to slowly but surely whittle down turrets in the faces of your enemies. This split push style team comp offers a great mix of early and late game power, with Sivir's Wave Clear offering the time and space needed for your double global ultimates of Taliyah and Pantheon to collapse on those unsuspecting side laners. Jax offers a more traditional side lane presence, and Bard can rotate in and out of plays with ease. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks everybody for tuning in to the ProComps Meta Forecast. I'm the ProComps League of Legends expert Coffee, reminding you to like, subscribe, and share the video with all your friends and teammates. Also, drop a comment below if you have any suggestions for future videos, or if you just want to discuss the current state of the game. Later.